Hi, I'm Zach Stewart.
Laura Hotchkiss.
And I'm Daniel Kvoras. On this podcast, we improvise in character as hosts of a morning radio show in a fictional country called the Driftwood Isles.
Everything we say is made up, and none of the events, people, or places are real.
It's that simple. Now enjoy this episode of Good Morning Driftwood.
Driftwood. We're here. It's hour 3 of Monday's show, and we're still here, even though we are doing this against insurmountable odds. With me, as always, Dirk Wiley.
And good morning to you, Penny.
And Bench PerDiem.
Hello.
Last night, we all attended a new restaurant opening. Real lovely perk of hosting Driftwood's number 2 most listened to morning radio show. Unfortunately for us, we are all suffering from upset stomachs, and we have heard that the restaurant has already been shut down by environmental health.
Good. Glad to hear it after the night I had.
Oh boy. We are nothing if not professional, and even though we did have that second course of oysters, we are here. We will radio host.
The second course of oysters may have been a sort of self-own. You know what I mean? We may have sort of dug our own grave with that.
I think when you eat an oyster and all three of us looked at each other and were like, these seem, To then go for a second course was probably a bad idea.
Yeah. The first one, we did the thing where all of us put our arms into, we did the champagne thing.
Around the arms,
yeah.
which is usually a 2-person thing. It really adds a lot of just mass of arm when you make it a 3-person one. It's a real difficult flexibility with that elbow to get it all the way around.
Truly thought I was going to have to dislocate my shoulder to get out of that one.
Not
Real
this time.
pretzel tie of the arms.
People do expect it from us when we show up at restaurants at this point, because, every time we're invited to
everyone's always looking over when they're going to do the arm thing that we got, and then we all look around, we know everyone's expecting a show.
Yeah.
So we got to step up for the public. It's what we do for you, good listeners.
We do it for you.
Good Morning Driftwood.
We hope you're happy. Our toilets are not.
Indeed not. And so we got these oysters, partially because we want oysters, because oysters are nice.
Who doesn't like
but
oysters?
Partially because we got to put on that show.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop when we leave here, folks.
No.
Being famous is hard.
Being famous on a small isle as well.
On a
even
small
harder.
scale, on a small isle.
It's like, I'm sure if you're, I don't know, Brad Pitt, there's areas of Los Angeles, California that you can just hide in. I'm sure there's areas that...
Or people will agree to not bother you.
Yeah.
That same etiquette is not afforded to those on Driftwood Isle.
No. Sometimes, because obviously we're radio, we can get away with it a little bit if they don't know our face.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
then
true.
that silky smooth voice comes out and, they're like,
do you guys have your public voice? Your fake voice that you use in public to try to fly under the radar?
Oh, you mean this voice, governor? I am but a humble child from England.
So inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to turn heads.
No
that
one
voice.
notices.
It sounds natural coming out of your face. It
They're
makes
sense. That's just a tourist from good old England.
Sometimes you just have to flip the switch when you're out and about. If you're at the pharmacy and you're like, I'm just looking for motion sickness tablets, governor. Just those ones.
That's a
yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones. That was them getting the box off the shelf. Because there's something,
you saw their hand near the one that you wanted.
Yes.
The motion your particular preferred
this one,
your preferred brand of motion sickness tablets.
Yeah.
And you wanted yeah. Okay, to encourage them.
Yeah. That's what you got to do sometimes, just to get through a pharmacy trip, especially something as embarrassing as motion sickness.
Yeah.
So maybe if you were ordering a drink at a bar and you wanted a particular brand of, what's your drink?
Oh, if we were going for an old fashioned.
So you want a particular brand of whatever's in an old fashioned, and their hand is drifting over the particular bottle that you want.
This one.
No.
This.
No.
Further topper shelf.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the one she wants.
Yeah. The toppest of top shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to slip right out of that establishment and no one's going to be the wiser.
No, people
that was Penelope MacGuffin.
Yeah.
That was just a really sprightly, enthusiastic
child from Victorian England.
English child.
Yeah.
Victorian English child.
Yeah.
Do you have a fake name as well that you use if you need to make a reservation or something?
Little Timmy Smithson.
Interesting that you've chosen. I asked if you had an incognito voice. You seem to have an entire identity.
Yeah.
That is a different age, different region of the world that you're from, different gender. You're just really
Different
imbibing
time period in
this
history. They'll
different
never
time
know.
period.
This does make
They'll never
sense
know.
because now everything is like coming together. I have seen you. Now I understand that's you trying to order a drink at a bar. I think it was maybe a few weeks ago. I thought it was two Victorian children in a trench coat. It was you in a big trench coat doing the movement as if there's a smaller child underneath you operating you. Your physicality was incredible.
Oh, I saw you at the bakery a couple weeks ago.
I asked for your autograph, Governor.
I had no idea that was you.
Yeah, you signed an autograph to little Timmy Smithson.
Yeah, that's a real kindly little fellow.
Yeah,
I had no idea that was you because you were ordering a croissant and they were going through over the croissants and like which croissant looks good to you, the pain au chocolat, this that, and so they were leaning over here and you didn't seem to like that one. So you said that, and then their hand went over here.
No,
didn't like that as well, and then their hand went further to the back of the box. And you still did. You were skeptical of the back of the box as well. And then they went over to the ones that had just come out of the. There you go. They had just come out of the oven. Little Timmy Smithson. Is that what you said?
Smithson. Yeah.
Smithson.
So the backs. Obviously, like if you're gonna embody a character, you really need to know the history of said character. You want to know where they're from, where they're going. What their
they did just before.
what their personal philosophy is. What do they like to eat for breakfast? You really want to make sure that you've all of those in
Done
play.
your work.
So obviously, little Timmy Smithson's dad was a blacksmith. See, surnames in those days were your job. And then the son part is because I'm his son of the blacksmith.
Ah. So do you know about blacksmithing as a result of...
Unfortunately, my daddy died in a horrible and tragic blacksmithing incident before he could teach me his ways. So I need to do other stuff now.
Is little Timmy an orphan boy?
Little Timmy's an orphan boy, but he made his money pickpocketing on the streets. But no more of that, no sir. I'm going to go to regional college and get my administration degree.
As a child?
I'm going to be
little Timmy Smithson is a child.
I'm going to be a typist. Well, here's the thing. In Victorian
little
England...
Timmy Smithson also has a very 1990s outlook on what skills will be required for a professional life.
1990s?
When they thought typing was like a career.
Yeah.
Right?
Little Timmy Smithson.
They're like,
really,
computers are going to be big. Know how to type and you're going to have it made.
Little Timmy Smithson, what you have to remember is, whilst he is a little Victorian orphan boy,
yes,
he's living
1990s.
in modern Driftwood Isles. And also the age, like your lifespan as a young Victorian child was about 16, 17, so you could have fit it all in.
Ah, interesting.
You know, there's no messing around.
So I guess the equivalent, you died so young in Victorian times that age 10 or whatever is the equivalent of like a university graduate in modern times.
I retire in 4 years.
I have a question.
You've really fleshed out and hammered down on a little Timmy Smithson here. I'm very impressed. Go on.
I have a little follow-up. So again, it is very clear from your physicality when you're doing it that it is two Victorian orphans, I'm guessing, on top of each other.
Upper and lower body really are.
Do you have a backstory for the other child?
That's you confusing the rickets with...
Yes.
Obviously, as you'll know, Victorian England, there were a lot of
Definitely
malnourishment.
Know what the rickets. I know what that is.
Yeah, it's just like, unfortunately, it's just a medical problem that does make movement.
It's like Victorian scurvy.
Well, I mean, I think scurvy was also Victorian scurvy.
Yeah, they just called it scurvy then.
Yeah.
And those are
They
similar.
didn't know it was Victorian scurvy.
Yeah, I think
they
it
were
was
just like, all these people got scurvy.
Yeah, and then as soon as they were like limes, and they were like, oh, here we go.
Limes. Solved.
Yeah.
Scurvy solved.
Obviously,
so little Timmy had a lot
had
a lot of health maladies as well.
Like
rickets and scurvy.
Oh no! Sorry, no scurvy.
No, that was my.
That was an add-on.
Okay, right.
I find that to be too weird for the character.
That's going to throw off the perfectly calculated and believable character of little Timothy.
Everything
Smithson.
is so specific and personal. All the details and
all the pieces of the puzzle are so perfectly put into place to create this mask of little Timmy Smithson.
Little Timmy Smithson's met the President of the United States of America.
This little orphan boy is meeting world leaders as well?
Which one?
Oh, Barack Obama.
Okay.
Good one. That's
Okay.
a good choice. That's
Yeah.
a cool one. Little Timmy that's a really cool life for little Timmy.
Yeah, it's
was this
also-
recently or during his presidency?
This was recently. You know how Barack's doing his whole like books and podcasts thing.
He's just like a
It's just-
cool
it's
guy
just
now.
turning on people.
Barack and Bruce Springsteen's podcast?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did he meet Bruce as well and just
Bruce
didn't care enough
Springsteen's-
to mention?
A real nice guy. Apparently, he plays electric guitar. I've
Apparently.
never heard of
Little
it.
Timmy is not familiar with the music of Bruce Springsteen,
Clearly.
apparently.
Apparently, I'd
makes
like
sense.
it because it's a lot about the working class. But the loud
Different.
noises remind me of the blacksmithing factory.
Different working class than Victorian
Yeah,
Victorian
yeah.
England.
I would say as well, like the working classes these days versus the working classes of Victorian England.
Not relatable.
Very, very difficult to try and
Between the
make little Timmy sympathetic about the plights of, you know, oh, you work in the factory and you're waiting for Friday to take your girlfriend out on your motorbike. Real difficult
That's
to get him
the
to buy
height
into
of
that.
luxury for
Yeah,
little Timmy.
For little Timmy, he's just like,
What's his luxury?
little Timmy's luxury is when he gets a second helping of breakfast.
Oh, probably likes gruel. Probably
Loves it.
Probably a big gruel
How did you
fan.
know?
Oh, but little Timmy loves gruel.
It's got all the things you need. Oats,
Lime?
water.
Yep. Slippery, hard slippery. The different textures of gruel.
Sometimes sawdust.
Sometimes sawdust if you want a
If
little
you're
extra
lucky.
heft to it. Oh, because that's a little extra.
Even though if you have the sawdust for too long, it will get you grumpy.
Is that so?
Yeah. Sawdust makes you grumpy. We all know this.
Ah.
It really backs up the intestines.
And that's the one that causes the grumpiness.
God, sometimes if you just can't do your daily movement, it makes you a little mad in the head.
Your daily move. Ah, I see. I thought sort of like your exercise routine. I thought little Timmy was referring to his exercise routine as his daily movement.
Oh, I just got it.
My exercise
Bench is there.
is cleaning chimneys.
I
So
literally
he
just
still
got it.
cleans chimneys as well.
Oh, you want to do a side hustle, don't you?
What's
He's
your
got a
main
side
hustle?
typing. He's going to be a
Oh,
typist.
typing. That's right.
That's
Gonna
his
do
career
typing.
trajectory.
But it's
Side
not
hustle.
current occupation.
Yeah, I guess.
You're doing chimney sweeping to
pay your
for
way
typing
through
school.
typing school.
That makes sense. That tracks.
And for all the things I want, like that croissant at that bakery,
Yeah, how could you afford that? It's French.
you'd be surprised how much people
French
pay
things
for
are
a
very expensive.
chimney swept.
There aren't a lot of people who have ricket riddled bones to
Ricket. Riddled bones.
I was like about to pop and
Bricket.
lock break dance over here. They don't have the malnourished rickety bone structure that you, Penny, don't have. So the fact that when embodying Timmy, you do have this entirely different physical makeup. Also, are you actually doing the job of the chimney sweep? Are you living the life of Timmy in tandem with the life of Penelope?
It's weird because I just think, like, would you ask Daniel Day-Lewis this? Of course, he's living the life of the character that he's playing and doing
for
the
that,
job.
though.
So this is not just to throw people off to you being to the fact that you're famous radio personality Penelope MacGuffin. You literally are taking on the second skin of Timmy Smithson.
I have been to many clown classes, many theatrical movement classes. I have spoken to some of the greatest theatre practitioners and also
Name
the
them.
guys who do
Name one.
the guys who do the prosthetics for The Walking Dead. I have
Can you just
spoken
name
to
one
all
theatre
of these
practitioner?
people. Oh, on the Isles.
Yeah, one of the famous
Yeah,
ones.
Sir Jacques Smith.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
trained with Sir Jacques
Yeah,
Smith?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Yeah,
Please
so
keep
like
going.
with all of the people that I have spoken to, obviously, I mean, I really have to give my thanks to them as well for help with the creation of the character.
Giving you the tools.
Yeah. We weren't just creating a character, we were creating a life. You know, that's what we were doing. And really, it was when the team, the prosthetics team, who have, you know, The Walking Dead, many other famous films and television shows on their books, it was really when they put me into the prosthetics after the 6 hours process that I really went, wow, we got it.
Timmy has prosthetics as well.
Yeah.
Do you do this every day when you embody Timmy.
Yeah, we're not gonna half-arse any of this,
Can
are
I
we?
just ask? Can I ask Timmy a question? Is Timmy?
Absolutely.
Is
Is Timmy here now?
Timmy's always here.
Timmy.
It's right under
You
the
just wouldn't
surface.
notice because he's such a little boy sweeping a chimney.
You just light up. Your entire face, your
It's
physicality
incredible.
changes every time you start with that voice. Go on, Bench.
I just want to ask little Timmy if, and I hope this is not too much of a downer, but if heaven is real and you, when you die and you get to the pearly gates, what would you like God to say to you?
Just imagine you're up there. You're so excited to
Just
meet your
started.
dad, your dead blacksmith dad who's
Well, this is
behind there.
before. This is before. This is just at the
Yeah,
pearly
no,
gates.
but I mean,
and
like,
get-
really, eager to get in there.
Yes,
and
you're
and
about
see,
to-
what do you hope to hear?
I think I'd ask, is little Smokey here, my old dog?
So you don't care about your dad. Or
Oh.
want to hear. Again, the question
Also,
was,
that
what do you
feels like a
want to hear
waste
from
of a
Well,
God?
question because you're
Little-
going to find out anyway.
Yeah,
very
it's
soon.
true.
Little
It's true.
Smokey went missing one day. He ran off. He chased the butcher down the road. The butcher had some sausages hanging out of his apron, and little Smokey saw them and he went running. And I never saw him again. So it would solve the mystery of where did he go?
Well, he's almost assured that. When was this? How long did they go to this happen?
3 weeks ago.
Oh,
he
God.
could be alive.
He could be alive.
out
I was
there.
going to say if it was years ago, it's
So-
probably dead. But no, this dog could be alive.
If you've seen Little Smokey, wait, is Little Smokey real?
Little Smokey's a real dog.
Sorry, I need to ask Penny. Can we talk
Penny,
to Penny
is
for a second?
Penny
Is
back?
Penny back?
Absolutely, yeah.
Is Little Smokey real?
Little Smokey's a dog, yeah.
Oh.
Real dog.
That's impressive.
So you had a dog that chased a butcher down a street, Penny?
I didn't have a dog that chased a butcher down the street. You're getting confused.
You're getting so
I am
Little
getting
Timmy-
very confused at keeping
Little
the
Timmy
lives
had a dog,
separate.
yeah.
So did the dog live at your Penelope's house?
No, of
No.
course not. He
Do
lives.
you maintain a separate residence for little Timmy?
Yeah.
I
Is
feel
it
like
some
Little
type
Timmy
of
would
hovel or
maintain
shed?
the residence.
Where does little Timmy live?
Little Timmy obviously lives in the orphanage with the other Victorian children.
So you kept a dog
The recent
at an
mutinied
orphanage?
No, the dog
Yeah,
would
Jeffrey
live.
Danvers orphanage?
The dog would live just outside the orphanage. Why would
Wait,
the dog
it's
live
on
in
a
the
boat.
dorms?
Were you part of the mutiny?
The orphanage is a boat. Did the dog live just on land near the boat?
The dog, yeah.
Looks like he's just a dog, as though that answers
No,
that
no,
question.
on the
Dogs
dock.
can live on boats.
Dock.
On the dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I think so.
Okay.
He's just a dog. He's like, all right, that is, dogs can live on boats just like
Yeah.
people can. So
But
they,
yeah, not when the rules of the orphanage are don't have dogs. You
It's
know,
true.
you
Those
can't
are the
just-
rules.
they're militantly anti-pet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say it distracts them from their training. They're vague on what that means, but
Mm-hmm.
so you did keep this dog alive, care for it only when you were embodying the life of little Timmy,
Mhm.
and then maintain a completely separate existence
I don't
as
want
Penny
to.
with your own penny pets.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Excited for the next edition of the
Penny
our
Pets.
regular segment, Penny Pets.
Penny pets.
I don't want to. I don't want to be like clingy to a dog that's not my own. You know, I don't own
So
that
you've
dog. Timmy
totally
owns that dog.
disassociated this character. You feel no feelings of affection
No.
towards this dog whatsoever.
No, you know how.
But as Timmy, you feel intense feelings, so much so that he cares more about this dog than his dead dad or what God is going to say to him at the
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would say is you know how when you have a cat, okay, and your cat maybe has a second life, it like wanders away, and it turns out the cat's hanging out with another family and being fed, and you only notice it because you're like, this cat's putting on a lot of weight. This cat's disappearing for long stretches,
Sure.
and then coming back, and it appears to
Making
be
the
getting
rounds.
fed. Like coming back a little chunkier than it was before, but it's still eating all the food here. And then you start to think, I think this cat's got two families, and it's just eating all the food in both. So
Okay.
then you start having to put a post up on like your local Facebook group saying, this is my cat. If this cat comes to you and is like eating your food, please stop feeding
Don't
this
feed
cat.
this cat.
You know, but it probably turns out it's some like kindly older person just giving like leftover chicken from their roast
Who's
dinner.
not on Facebook and
Yeah.
doesn't know this.
You don't imagine it's a full like other family kind of situation that they also like that the cat goes and like switches the collar and has a different name tag.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Okay. How does this relate to little Smokey the dog?
It makes sense.
Oh no, I just wanted to bring up that up as a. Isn't that weird?
Do you, Penny, have a cat that you're concerned with?
No, just isn't that weird?
It's just like, isn't it crazy the double lives of cats?
Cats, yeah. Like that we can go along and just
Okay,
be like,
again, I asked you about
like-
Timmy's affection towards Little Smokey and how you, Penelope, don't have any affection towards Little Smokey.
I've never met Little Smokey.
And you introduced the concept of cat's double lives.
I have never met Little Smokey.
Have you ever? Okay, here I have a question for you.
Never met. My God.
I have a question for you. Has it ever happened to you?
We are going to cut to a break at some point, but we just really need to get to the bottom of this. The advertisers, I think, would understand.
We are apologists to our affiliates. We might be going long. Did it ever happen where you suddenly would wake up and find yourself like you, Penny, in like a Timmy situation?
Yeah, like a Jekyll and Hyde. You woke up and you didn't even realize.
The part of your brain that is Timmy or Penny, or something got switched at the wrong time. Did that ever happen to you?
No, absolutely not. Although once or twice I have found myself with like an apology note from little Timmy for what, just like a slight burn to the forearm from blacksmithing gone wrong.
Communicates with you.
Yeah, so
just
little
occasionally.
Timmy is aware of Penny.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And aware that they do share the same body.
Well, we both are aware that we inhabit the same. I mean, what you got to remember is I really researched and spent a lot of time crafting Little Timmy.
Yeah.
What Little Timmy does now is
and then gave him birthed him.
Yeah.
And then what happened, what he does with all of the information is
very similar to Daniel Day-Lewis.
I don't think that's quite his process.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the main difference. He's retired.
Is that the only difference?
It's the biggest one that I can think of.
I think there are other differences in terms of artistic process and being a method actor. But being retired is the big thing for you.
I feel like that's
that he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't do that anymore.
Okay, that's fair, I suppose.
Yeah.
One day,
but maybe. I don't think that Daniel Day-Lewis as his character is leaves communication for when Daniel Day-Lewis becomes himself again.
We don't know that.
You'd have to ask his wife, maybe. Yeah. Maybe sometimes.
Or you know who you should ask if you can?
Separate
President Abraham Lincoln. I bet he would know.
Why would he know?
Because he was Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, Abraham Lincoln was just Abraham Lincoln. Daniel Day-Lewis portrayed Abraham Lincoln, but he didn't literally become the consciousness of Abraham Lincoln. It was a very good performance, I will admit that, but he didn't actually become Abraham Lincoln in the past.
Quite a long film.
It's very good.
Quite a long film.
Very good. No, I don't think
separate observation.
For the record, I don't think he became Abraham Lincoln in the past. I think he became Abraham Lincoln now.
Abraham Lincoln as an individual doesn't exist. He's dead. Long dead.
Abraham Lincoln was a real person. You do know that, right?
I am aware of that. Much time ago. Many years ago.
Much time ago.
Much time ago, Abraham Lincoln walked the earth.
Much time ago.
Abraham Lincoln walked the earth.
That's how that movie begins, right?
That's how it began.
Haven't seen it in a minute.
80 and much time ago.
And much time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What were we talking about?
Oh, God, I don't even remember how we got on this.
I don't either.
Crazy.
I'll be entirely honest.
We need to either move on immediately or spend 20 more minutes on this.
We need to. I think we should move on. Penny or Little Timmy. I kind of want to hang out with Little Timmy at some point.
Oh, you can.
And just pick his brain at a later date. Maybe we can do a feature. Maybe we can do a an interview feature where we bring Little Timmy into the studio.
You can, and you already have.
Oh my gosh!
From that day at the bakery.
That, again, staggering. I'll have to recount all of the details of that day in my mind just to figure out what my history with Little Timmy is and maybe maintain a friendship with this young fellow. He sounds like a very upstanding, ambitious
You usually as
gentleman.
well have such a good sort of mentorship relationship with the orphanship.
It's true. Little Jeffrey really looks up
mentorships with the orphanship.
Yes, indeed. Little Jeffrey really looks up to me. He says that a lot, and I really admire him as well in his own ways as a leader of men, well, of children, but, leader of men. And maybe Little Timmy could join forces with Little Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And we'll see what these two rapscallions can get up to out in this wild world.
I hope they don't form a rivalry between them because they're such strong individuals.
They could be best friends. They could be nemeses.
Maybe both.
We'll see. Maybe
nemeses on the 7 seas.
Anyway, I think all of us have diarrhea right now.
Yeah, we should cut to a break, and then we're just going to...
Oysters are making a return, and so
it's coming back up.
We'll see you in hopefully 2-3 minutes, maybe 5, 7. You know what? From the look of Dirk, maybe. You know what? We'll be back when we're back. Right, and we're back. We are fine. Everyone's hydrated. Everyone's...
I feel much better.
You feel much better?
Indeed.
How are you getting on?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Sticking with bench.
I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
Are you okay to talk
Forehead's
more?
forehead's a little sweaty.
Yeah. I got the
Do you-
sweats.
do you
I got
wanna-
the oyster sweats.
Do you
The
want
oyster
to...
sweats.
Yeah.
Okay, on you go. No, if you...
I have a little bit of a fun little.
You got
I'm
this.
fine.
You got this,
I'm
buddy.
fine.
Ultimate Pro.
Ultimate Pro. We're professionals. We're here. We never missed a day. None of us, equally. Fun new exciting thing. The application Duolingo. Are you guys familiar with Duolingo? The little thing that helps you learn languages.
I've heard about it. I have never used it.
It's a thing that helps you learn languages and different regional sort of specifics. They have started serving the Driftwood Isles and the residents to create a language course on what they are calling pirate Driftwoodian.
The old Driftwood.
Old Driftwoodian. Yeah,
That's
they're going to do
so
a whole course
crazy.
about it.
That's fantastic.
Because I
Yeah.
thought they'd done that a little while ago.
Have they?
Yeah, that's so
There was-
sad. So
wasn't
like
there-
now they're
there was
going
one
to pirate.
There was
That's
one
so
professor.
interesting.
Wasn't there one professor
Yeah.
at the university who taught it? But it was very unclear whether he was just making it up or whether it was actually what
Yeah,
old
that's so
Driftwood
strange
was.
that they're, but like the fact that they've now
Now they're democratizing it to try to get the truth of it.
to get the pirate is very good.
Yeah, they
Very good
are
that they're-
trying. They have put up a public service announcement to have as many native speakers of Driftwoodian to come in and sort of, have them record kind of their sound, how they're speaking.
Yeah.
Phonetics.
Because we used to do it as Driftic, obviously, and that's like now that you're going into like the more pirate lingo, it's exciting to hear what the differences will be.
Yeah. Because
They
doesn't
get
your
very-
family, your family comes from a long line of Driftwoodians.
Yes.
And so are there remnants of the language? You, I believe, are, but of the three of us, definitely the most familiar. But you do know some old Driftwood.
I can understand it
Driftwood.
very well.
Driftic?
Driftic, yeah.
Driftic.
Again, it really depends on what part of the island you are. It is like some parts is more driftic, some is more Driftwoodian. I guess
Yeah.
they're just kind of like trying to expand, get like a broader sort
Dialectal
of
differences.
Yeah, get some more second opinions, kind of.
Second opinions?
Yeah,
Is that how languages work?
Yeah.
Second opinions?
yeah.
It's
You
just
know-
different
Do
dialects.
you think they did that with the French? Just like
Elaborate on that,
Like-
Penny?
Yeah, what?
Je m'appelle means my name is, and they went,
What is this?
We're going to need a second opinion.
A lot of people seem to think that, but what does this guy over here think?
Yeah. Let's go get. You know what? We're going to do our own research. That's what Duolingo said.
I'm just going to say there's going to some of our French Canadian listeners might get very upset at that.
Again, that seems
How do you
like a
mean? Yeah.
dialect issue
That feels
as
like
opposed
a
to second opinions.
yeah. Like I'm sure like Spanish across
Regional.
all of the regions that speak Spanish probably have like key differences.
Yeah.
Banda.
And what is a dialect if not a second opinion on a language?
Interesting.
That's a bold way of putting it.
An interesting an interesting idea that would seem to facilitate confrontations between these different groups.
Do you think that's what they're trying to
Well,
do?
it's basically characterizing it as not just like colloquial differences.
Wait, are you
and
think
instead
there's
as a disagreement between two regions. It seems to be pitting
do you
two
think
areas
they are
against each other.
trying to start a new feud or
Between
an
the
old
east
feud?
and west and north.
Yeah. It won't be a new feud. It'll be the oldest feud
It's
in the book.
Restarting an existing
It took a
feud.
long time to quell those waters,
Oh.
so to speak.
Reconciliation was so long.
And
Still
redefining the
ongoing.
borders,
Yeah.
what qualifies as north versus east versus west. It took a long time. There was a lot of hardship. There was a lot of feelings about this, how people identify. But we ultimately came together as one.
Yeah.
And now this language app
This could be
is
a
trying
really
to pull
bad
us
idea.
apart.
This could be a really, really bad
Well,
idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yeah, obviously,
just
like
fight the Duolingo corporation.
that's. I mean, like, yeah, that is an issue. But also, like, isn't Duolingo so annoying when it's like constantly like, oh, come back and learn. You've lost your streak. Like, isn't that the real issue?
I've heard that owl is very needy.
Oh, just like constantly like, hey, come back. You've not done your 5 minutes of learning today. And it's like, I have stuff on.
One person told me that after a little while, the owl started to look sick
Yeah,
and
the
like
owl
really like decrepit.
Yeah, the owl had like
'Cause you hadn't
snot
used it
running out
for-
of its nose. Like I'm like, I don't wipe your nose normally. Duolingo owl.
That's true. Just because you're not learning a language doesn't mean this owl should neglect its self-care.
Do you think it's
Take
like
care of yourself,
do you think
owl.
it's like modern language scurvy, but like learning keeps it alive, like a sort of
Feels more
Tinkerbell?
like
If you don't believe in Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell dies.
That's
feels more
very
like
alarming.
a modern language rickets, if anything.
Yeah, like
a little
it's
different.
like a
Language-based rickets.
Yeah.
there's a malady of some description here where like, yeah, if you don't learn a language, you don't get up to date on your German.
This owl's gonna die.
We're gonna take this owl out the back.
I think we.
Man, what a prison this owl lives in.
Feel bad for it.
But again, the
Kind of makes you want to learn.
It kind of makes
Does
me
it?
want to disengage with it entirely.
Yeah.
That's upsetting to see an owl look
kind
so
of-
sick. It's like, hey, I'm not responsible for you.
It makes me kind of not want to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, just tell them no, thank you.
Like, why is this about you? I downloaded this to learn a skill. Now all of a sudden you're manipulating my emotions and saying I'm killing an owl. I didn't sign up for this.
Well, no, thank you.
I was watching, and I don't want to confess to the show or the platform and have anyone think that I watched this for any other reason other than just it's been spoken about in the
This is a
discourse.
real heavy disclaimer coming
This
from
is-
Penny here.
But I
Big
was
way up.
watching.
We get it. You're very removed from any responsibility for what you were about to say.
I was watching a very high budget game show by a very popular streamer who also does delivery services, hosted by an incredibly popular YouTube personality. And a lot
Good.
of
That's
what,
very vague.
very vague. No one will ever know. Because I don't want to advertise it unless there's a contract signed. Okay, we're
course.
very
You did say
particular.
YouTube.
I'm not advertising YouTube because that's not where it is. I'm just
Okay.
saying that person is
Something else
known
the
for
person does.
YouTube.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very
you can
careful
do
with your
Is it
words.
that one cat?
You can do more than one thing.
What?
Yeah, you can do more than. Has no one told you?
No.
Okay, we
You
get
can
it.
do more than one thing?
You know how like you do your sleuthing in addition to that's not a job per se, but
Yeah.
you know how you sleuth in your own time.
Yeah.
And you come here and do radio. Those
Yeah.
are two different things, buddy. You're already doing more than one thing.
They feel aligned to me. They feel like they are feeding
That's
into each other.
fascinating.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Interesting. The
What-
mind of Bench always just
every time we get a
wonders to
peek
me.
inside, it goes, "Wow, what a cavern we've looked into once again."
Was it Cash Cab? Is that what you're
It
talking
was not
about?
Cash Cab,
Okay.
unfortunately. But what a lot of the exercises that they did on that show, not exercises,
Was
challenges.
it Beat Shazam?
It was not Beach Shazam,
Okay.
but that's a fun one, isn't it?
Was
That's
it
a
cake?
real fun one. No, it wasn't the Is It Cake or
Was it
Not one.
cake?
Was it cake?
Also, they've not, if the entire concept is a cake, I only watched like 2 episodes, so they've not revealed if it is or cake or not.
More game shows should end up being cake.
Yeah.
And past tense.
I feel like this is one of those situations where I'm going to tell you the moral of this story and we're going to have forgotten how we got here. But what I was going to say is a lot of the challenges are self-sacrifice, where in order to progress, they need to
Cake.
lose X amount of participants because they had 1,000 people and only one person can win this prize. So they have to get it down to like 500. And they're like, 10 of you will need to self-sacrifice to just quit this competition now. Or if you don't...
Well, that's annoying.
Yeah, so like that's...
So you're not really earning it
Yeah.
to win.
So like with Duolingo, is it that like some of us will have to self-sacrifice to keep this owl alive by learning another language?
I think
I don't like the emotional manipulation of this.
feels wrong in a
And
variety of ways.
just
Also, they
very
don't
sad.
deliver anything.
And super defeatist and
Yeah.
not based on. It's interesting that the comparison you made because it's not like this game, winning this game is not based on skill whatsoever. It's just basically on making people sad enough
I think it's
that the show
odds.
continues.
Some of
and
it
they-
is skill. They got people to build a little tower out of foam blocks, and they only were allowed like this one red one at the bottom, and then they had to make their whole. They had to use
Okay.
every block and make sure it was still standing.
See, that's
A
fine.
lot- so that
but
like
the
that's-
emotional manipulation of self-sacrifice,
Mhm.
I don't think that's a good game.
And they also have
And
a difference.
definitely not fun to watch people being emotionally and psychologically broken.
Wait,
and
wait, wait,
some
wait,
of
wait.
them, when they
And
do
I don't want that in a
self-sacrifice,
language app either.
will do a very dramatic, like they will look to their friend that's also in the game and they'll do a very dramatic, do this for your family. And then
have a
they'll
question.
hit the little button
God.
and leave it. And it's obviously great for the cameras, but overall worrying for a society.
So when they self-sacrifice, do they like cut into themselves and then they're cake?
No one's cake yet.
Were they
Cannot stress
cake?
this enough. No one's.
Were they
Stand
/
appeal.
are they cake?
No one's revealed. I'm only
Could
2
they be?
episodes in. I feel like
Could
if you were going to
they be?
reveal, they could. If a
Finale?
tree, if a tree falls in the forest and
Is
no
it
one
cake?
hears it, is it cake?
What?
If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, is it cake?
Do you eat it after?
That's the question. Philosophers
Do you
have
eat
thought
the
about this
tree?
for hundreds of years and they don't know.
Do you find and eat the tree?
Oh, I think we broke Dirk.
That's the only, because that would be the way to know.
Yeah.
You'd find a bunch of shattered cake in a forest and be like, it was cake.
You know what?
Is
We're
cake-
gonna
is
we're gonna
cake really
go.
cake if you don't eat it?
We are stuck in a loop. We're gonna go for a break. Well, we're just gonna give both of you a little bit more time to just ponder whether, because I'm really worried that we get stuck in that cycle again where Dirk starts thinking that he might actually be cake. And remember, we were 7 minutes before he bit his own arm and realized he wasn't cake.
I went completely silent for about 6-7 minutes and then I bit myself. Turns out I wasn't cake.
Yeah, you
But
were a
I know
person.
that now.
Now you know.
I know that
Yeah.
now.
So we're just going to go to a quick break. We're going to have Matthias come in and just read to us the pre-prepared paragraph that we have in case of cake emergency.
We
Okay.
are our bodies.
Yeah.
We are ourselves. We are not cake.
And we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we are recentered. We are human bodies. We're not even going to use the C word.
We're not that.
We're not that, okay? We're going to move forward like normal human beings made of bones, meat, blood,
Etc.
other things that are within the human body.
What else is in
Yeah, keep going.
I feel like meat's such a coverall
meat?
thing,
Covers
isn't
a lot of it.
Yeah.
Intestines are meat in a sense. Muscle
Yeah.
is meat.
Like
Brains are
Muscle
meat.
is the only thing that is properly meat.
Is that so?
When you eat a steak, it's just muscle tissue.
Yeah, but you could eat other
But there's
parts
blood
of the
in there.
animal.
It's true. Yeah,
There's
but
blood
it's
in
not,
there.
Yeah, that's the sauce. That's the meat sauce.
Meat sauce is blood?
Okay, we need to stop talking about food. We need to stop talking about food. Not today. Not today. Not after double oysters.
Well, I hate to say it, but I was just about to start talking about it's not
Oh,
food, but it
boy.
is sweets. It's not food, but it goes mighty well with
Okay.
food. It's about beverages.
That'll do because
Wash
God,
it down. Wash
yeah,
down
yeah.
this,
We
this
are
steak, this cake.
dehydrated. Go,
Wash down the steak and cake.
go for it.
Yeah.
Well, the Driftwood Beverage Company, they're crowdsourcing ideas for new beverages based on Driftwood's storied history. Now, a few beverages that they've already announced are Snake Surprise, which is commemorating that time all those snakes fell out of the sky, but only on top of people named Jeremy.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, it was like clumps of snakes that fell on top of Jeremy's
pal
all over the island.
My pal Jeremy was like, "You'll never believe what just happened."
Yeah. And then another of your pal Jeremy was like, hey, this also happened to me.
Yeah,
Snakes all over the Jeremys all over the isle.
crazy.
And they've also got Rock Monster from the time all those rocks fell out of the sky. And then they coalesced into a giant golem rock monster that broke into the geology department of the Driftwood University, stole a bunch of rock samples, and then fled up into the mountains of Finicky Ridge.
A lot of people were saying they were just liberating the rocks and not actually stealing them because they belonged to them initially. Keep going.
It was difficult to fault the rock monster, I'll admit, which is why no one's, sought justice or anything for that instance. Nobody's seen them since, actually. Also, stuff falls out of the sky a lot here. People attribute that to the strong winds in the waters around the isles. But if you live on Driftwood, you gotta keep your eyes skyward because stuff is just falling out of the sky all the damn time. And lastly, they've got Big Cherry Blast, which is commemorating that historically speaking, everybody liked cherries. What other ideas do we have for beverage flavors, gang?
I just really am curious as to what swan jerky fizz would taste like.
It is becoming quite identifiable, quite signature, quite renowned, internationally speaking. Driftwood is becoming known for Lionel Titty's swan jerky. So I feel like it might be a good idea to commemorate it with a line of
I
beverages.
cannot stop eating it.
It's delicious.
It's incredible.
It is quite salty,
Yeah,
which usually you don't find in a beverage.
that's
It's
true.
crazy to think that you are so ill today, yet every time I look over, you're just eating more swan jerky as well.
Well, if I don't eat, I'll just feel worse.
the swan jerky does seem to have a grounding effect on Bench. So the fact that the oysters are affecting his system, it makes sense. He's sort of trying to recenter his digestive tract with Lionel Titty's swan jerky.
It's also mentally, whenever I am getting into a space of am I cake, having like the sensation of the swan jerky in my hands and in my mouth makes me remember that I am not.
The savory sort of grounding effect of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do like a bit of savory with sweet with a beverage as well.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know Milkis?
Oh my God. Do I?
I love Milkis. One of my favorite it's a Korean carbonated milk and yogurt beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. You guys had Milkis?
I have not had the privilege of trying it. However,
really?
I did.
was certain Milkis was a person for a second here.
I'm just going to go to the break room real quick.
This is really exciting for me because I only heard about Milkis like a week ago.
I have not heard of it.
Oh, see, I was watching on YouTube, actor
Which
from a very
is allowed.
popular, that's allowed, an actor from a very popular TV show on a streamer service, drink Milkis, but he also was testing it against a Scottish drink called Iron Brew, and he was real digging the Iron Brew.
Interesting.
It's like this orange beverage. No
Like a
one knows
Fanta?
what it is.
Is
no
it like
one.
a Fanta?
I don't believe it's like a Fanta.
Interesting. Iron Brew.
Oh,
wow.
he's coming back. Dirk's on his
There
way
it
back.
is. Milkis. Now, to our listeners, this looks very liquid and very white. It doesn't seem to have the texture of a yogurt.
I'm really excited because this breaks all of Dirk's rules about beverages and near the equipment.
That is
It's also
genuinely
true, and I'm now very aware of that.
But it's hey, if Matthias is okay with it and Dirk is okay with it, then we're okay with it.
All right, so I've got some lovely Milkis here. It's a beautiful imagery on the label here. There's one individual of non-specific gender who has a balloon with a heart. I think it's a balloon, and also sort of a magic wand with a star. And there's another individual, also of non-specific gender, who has an umbrella, and they both seem to be floating up into the air.
That really asks the question, what is causing the floating, the balloon or the magic wand?
I think it's the Milkis.
I would imagine it's the Milkis.
I would argue, Penelope, it's the Milkis.
I've never seen
Causing
Dirk
that-
like this.
That effervescent feeling.
I genuinely
Which
have never
I-
seen Dirk happier
which
and
is-
more excited.
Which is
about
what I
anything.
feel every time I take a nice ice-cold glass of Milkis.
I feel
Now, let
like,
me pour you guys a cup here.
you know the best part? He's never, I know for a fact, I read all of our sponsorship. They're not one of them. He's
No.
just genuinely this excited.
Oh, they don't have to pay me $1. I'll preach the good word of Milkis all day, every day.
Can I just say, if the fine folks at Milkis want to sponsor Good Morning
Please.
Driftwood, we will accept it.
Please, if anyone has any contacts with the Milkis Corporation in Korea, please let them know. I would love to get in
100%.
contact.
Am I correct in thinking as well, Milkis comes in various flavor profiles as well? Like you can get like a
Flavored
sort of
milk?
banana-y one. And you can get
Potentially. I don't know this.
Oh,
all
you're
I'm
a Milkis
familiar is
Ridge.
Milkis Classic is all I know.
real Coca-Cola man.
No,
Except
Milkis.
Milkis, yeah. Or there's one.
Now, Dirk is pouring a glass of Milkis. Again, it is... I'm
It
curious.
has the color of milk, but not the texture.
Exactly. It has
And
the
it is
texture of water.
Very carbonated. I'll
This is
remind you.
exciting.
It's a creamy
I'm gonna
milk,
wait for
milk
you
and yogurt
to
get yours.
carbonated beverage.
Okay, on smell, I know this is weak. Right. Okay, I am not very good at taste
Smelling.
testing, like telling what the flavor profile
Glass
is
for
of
you,
something.
Bench.
Cheers.
But I would say that smells real clean.
It's crisp. It's a very
Smells
crisp
very-
flavor,
Smells very citrusy.
indeed.
Yes.
Which you would think would be at odds
Are we?
with a milky
Still.
flavor profile. But in fact, that carbonated fizz goes shockingly well.
Oh, that's
Huh.
great. That's
Right?
kind of cream soda.
Is that
Yeah.
not delicious?
That's brilliant.
Lemonade-y, but not too overpowering.
Yeah. Interesting that you point out lemonade, because that's a flavor I've never. Maybe you're reading the sort of citrus fizz,
I'm getting
not
a
the
lot of
citrus fizz,
citrus.
but the sort of carbonated
Yeah.
fizz. That's
I don't have a lot of lemonade or carbonated
evoking
drinks,
onto
so-
your palate a citrusy sort of.
I would drink this
Sort of
all the time, but I know
jolt.
that Dirk would be furious if we wanted more.
Oh no, I'll share this Milkis.
I'm getting
Milkis
notes
is
of-
for the people, Penelope.
I'm getting notes of
I
stone
will
fruit.
never deprive an individual of a nice glass of Milkis.
Oh no, hold off just now, and then maybe once the show's finished, we'll
Milkis party.
What?
Milkis party. I was trying to think of a better term for it, and that's the only thing that was coming to my head.
Yeah, Milkis Mondays
It
from here
really,
on out.
I mean, it does the job.
Hey, Dirk. Got Milkis?
You know I do, Bench. I got Milkis flowing through these veins every damn day.
It is like when I saw the color of it, because you can.
It's very nice.
It's not transparent. It's a very opaque beverage. I did think it would be heavier than
on the going down. You mean?
Yeah, but it's very light.
Because again,
the
it
carbonation
is milk based.
There's a I do not remember the name of it, but there's another kind of like yogurty drink.
Are you reading Korean right now?
That is,
Most of the label is Korean, but there is the ingredients. There is a translation.
I was expecting something closer to. There's like a full yogurt drink that I don't remember
Milk
the name
powder
of it, that
is part of it.
Much more yogurty, much more like heavier. I was expecting something like that. This is very different, and very
It's
delightful.
very light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could sip on this Milkis all day.
I've
you
not
say
had a
milk?
cream soda in so long that is making me want to go
Never
drink
had
a
one.
cream soda to try and. I think cream soda is much more sugary though.
Yeah, and doesn't contain any actual milk-based
No, not that
products.
I'm
So
remembering.
I would argue that it's a fraud.
Wait a minute.
That it is a fraud compared to
Wait a
Milkis.
minute.
It has no milk flavored
Cream
products.
soda is a coward, where Milkis has the courage to put actual milk in their carbonated beverage.
I'm really worried. Well, gently flavored with vanilla. It's based on the taste of ice cream rather than.
Based on
on-
the taste of ice cream.
Doesn't
Yeah.
contain any dairy in it.
That is like saying
fraud.
No, sorry. Yeah. In 1852, as published in the Michigan Farmer, milk was mixed with water, cream of tartar, Epsom salts, sugar, egg. You needed to mix it, heat it, mix it once again, cooled with water, and then a quarter teaspoon of baking soda to make the drink.
This is cream soda in the 1850s.
This was it, yeah. And it was a part of the temperance movement to try and, don't drink alcohol, drink this instead. Whereas I assume Milkis is just because people enjoy it and they're not desperately trying to replace alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, that's an unconvincing substitute. If people are trying to
Absolutely.
drink alcohol, you go like, drink this thing with eggs and cream and a bunch of other stuff.
You know what
Baking
that's,
powder? Did
You
say
know what that
baking
sounds-
soda?
Baking powder.
You know-
Baking powder.
Guys, I am so sorry. You know what that sounds like?
What's
That sounds like cake.
That does sound
That
like
sounds
cake.
like cake.
Can I just say,
Old-timey cream soda.
I think-
Modern day cream soda, I will still argue that is a coward because there is no cream in that. Original cream soda
It's just cake.
is cake.
It's cake.
Milkis,
Was it cake? Yes, it
Yes,
was.
it was.
Milkis is available in orange, strawberry, mango, melon, banana,
Oh my
peach, apple,
God.
and classic.
That's one flavor?
You've a world of Milkis you've not even experienced
Oh
yet.
my God, it's a world I want to live in so bad.
You and the Lotte Chilsung Corporation need to get
Good
together.
people at the Lottie Chilson Corporation, hit us up.
Good folks of the Lottie Chilson Corporation, we humbly reach out to you for
you know what the
corporate sponsorship
catchphrase-
or just partnership or literally any contact whatsoever. I would be ecstatic.
I think
I'm
we need to get this
going-
going. Listeners, right into the...
Yeah, I'm about to butcher Korean because I do not know if this is the correct way to pronounce this, but the catchphrase of the advert used to be "Sarangheo Milkis," which translates literally to "I love you, Milkis."
Aww. Hey, we
And
love
who
you, Milkis.
doesn't? Milkis, I love you, Milkis.
I think I'm
Anyone
into.
else? Anyone else want to address
I
Milkis
literally-
directly
oh my God.
as the
I-
slogan invites us
I
to?
literally just met Milkis. Okay, Milkis and I
And yet-
literally just met.
And yet,
I love Milkis.
it's
Yeah,
a
I
love
love
at
you,
first sight,
Milkis.
Bench, what you think?
Oh, hey, Milkis. Didn't see you there. You know, there's something I've been meaning to tell you for a while now.
Real meat cute.
This
from,
feels. Oh, please
from
don't.
Bench. I like
please,
it. I like it.
please,
Run,
please,
brother.
I beg, don't follow up with. I saw you from across the bar. Please, no.
Hey, Milkis.
Hey, that Milkis hits your tongue and it just, you feel things you never knew you could feel before. And Bench is just following that feeling straight to his heart. And so speak those words from that heart, brother.
My truth. Milkis, I love you,
You know-
so much.
Oh, so intimate from Bench.
I think
I've
we.
never said this to a fizzy drink before.
Okay, Dirk's crying.
Opening new worlds. Milkis is opening up new levels of emotion for Bench.
Okay.
And I understand.
Yeah.
It'll change your life.
Dirk is crying, so never a better time to go to a commercial break. We're gonna have to give him a moment to wipe his tears, and
This was such a beautiful beverage.
it's really good. It's really good.
Body,
You
mind,
won me round.
body, mind, and soul. It makes
It's
everything
great.
better.
I'm still sipping it. I'm supposed to host a radio show and I'm still sipping it. I'm trying to remember to talk into the microphone and not just zip my Milkis.
We have gone so long. I think this is our longest episode of ever. No.
No, but I could talk. Milkis feels like forever.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna start.
Milkis is forever.
Okay, Matthias, please lead into the advert. Okay, lead into the. Okay, Dirk, you gotta chill with the Milkis. Okay, I love you, Milkis. It's okay. Please, Dirk, stop crying. Dirk.
Good Morning Driftwood is executive produced and hosted by Zach Stewart, Laura Hotchkiss, and Daniel Kvoras. Engineered and produced by Zach Stewart. Music by Daniel Kvoras.